Amen. Thank God. With all heads bowed. Father, thank you for everything seen and unseen. Lord, I just thank you for how you have touched and blessed all of your children in some way. Lord, right now, I'm asking you to touch the Young and Johnson family. We had a family member to go home the other day. Boy, but you blessed them with 81 years, Lord, and I thank you for that. I thank you for Mother Boland. Touch her right now, Lord. I touch you for everything, Lord. I can't even speak. If I had 1,000 tongues, I couldn't say how many times you have blessed my family and family that I know. I thank you. In your name, amen. You know, there's times in life that things happen and you have no control. You think you can control all things, but you really can't. And then what we do, we make excuses for what we do or don't do. And I'm thinking about making excuses. I thought about a comedian in the 70s, Flip Wilson. And he made a catch statement national. And it was, "The devil made me do it." And in his skit, whatever he would do, go buy a new dress or whatever Geraldine did, he would always say, "The devil made me do it." That was his excuse. And a lot of us have that excuse today. The devil made me do this. But you know, I went to Matthew's. And I got to Matthew 4. And I went to Matthew 1. Then was Jesus led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. So you're not the first one to be tempted. The devil tempted him 3 times. Verse 4 and 1, verse 5, and verse 8. But you know, Jesus didn't say, I got to do this because of the devil. No. The devil had his day. The devil will try. And so when you're going up the rough side of the mountain and you're facing some difficulty, the devil will tell you, don't climb that mountain. That mountain's too high, too steep, too many goats on that mountain. Come on back down. I can show you another way. Yes, he can. He can show you another way. But he never ends the sentence correctly by saying, the way I show you is hell bound. He doesn't do that. He want to tell you about the lights bright. And I think about all the things that happen. And I think about what Jesus went through. But when I began to really let it sink in, it went to 4 and 4. But he answered and said, it is written, man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God, not the devil. And I'm saying, wait a minute. You mean I don't have to be concerned with the devil? Oh, they say he's so powerful and he can do this and he can do. But you know what? It says, I want you to get this clear. In 1 John 4 and 4, Jesus made it clear that one who is in us is greater than the one in the world. So whatever the devil seemed to be doing and seemed to be working it out for you, remember, that's the world. But the Christ in you is greater than anything that the devil can do. So when I look at what happened, the devil 3 times he went to Jesus. And Jesus had a word for him every time. But when Jesus got tired of him coming, get me behind me. That's what you have to say. You just can't say, oh, I'm going to take some depressing pills. I'm going to get some Johnny Walker Red. I'm going to get me a blunt. I'm going to do a little heroin. No. Stop making excuses. If the devil went to Jesus, who are you? Who are you? He's going to come after you, especially when you're living right. Now, if you ain't living nothing, you're not doing nothing, the devil got you. The devil every now and then will throw a little bomb over there, but he got you hooked up. But when you leave him and you no longer allowed to be tempted, oh, you're living in this world, and there's things that happen. But you have to make a decision. Do I want to go to hell? Now, if you say, I don't want to go to hell, that means when you're tempted, when devil come into you, devil do not always come the same way. And he come on different folks, different ways. He know your weakness. Now, I have to pray often because I have had a very bad temper. I have a slight temper now, but I'm still praying. See, and I know when the devil try to get me going, try to show you things, but I'm going to show you how God works. I was at a wake the other night for a family member, and I looked over in the church, and I saw a gentleman that I knew, been knowing him all my natural life. But I wasn't sure that he saw me. So I stood up. The devil was saying, well, let's leave it alone. You know who he is. You know, that Mr. So-and-so. See, but I did not allow the devil to tempt me enough. So I stood up. He looked over and saw me. And he said to his wife, that's Levi. He made his way to me, and the devil said, well, stand there and make him come to you. I said, no, I'm going to meet him halfway. And I was not in the will of what was going to happen at that moment. I was just going to greet him. But he grabbed me and hugged me and began to say some things to me that shocked me. He asked me to forgive him. And he said, now I know you know why. And I did not. And he said it several times. I could hear the cry deep down inside. He said, I'm sorry. Forgive me. And I said to him, we have too many years together. History. I said, you're the only person I know that we were born in the same place, the same hospital, on the same day, and lived on the same street. I can't say that about a lot of folks. So whatever happened, it happened. We're two people of the cloth. Now, he's a minister, and so am I. But I saw how the devil tried to get in, tried to tempt me to say, well, ask them, what was it? I didn't need to know. Because, see, if I would have fell for the devil's trap, he could have told me something that vexed me. I didn't need to know. So I didn't allow the devil to tempt me into doing anything. But he gave me his business card and asked me, did I have mine? And I said, yes, it's not 10. He said, I'm going to contact you. We got to talk. But what the Lord said to me later on, after all the dust is settled, he said, now he can die in peace. Not that he's dying, But he confessed. The Bible said confess. And it took a long time. I've been seeing him in 35 years. But whatever was disturbing him, he did not allow the devil to take him down. When he had an opportunity, he didn't know I was going to be at the funeral because he didn't know the person who passed was my relative. I didn't know that he was going to be there because I didn't even know they knew each other. But God knew. Man, God gave us a chance to reconcile. You can defeat the devil if you just believe. And then I think about all the things that have happened. Then it comes to a point, defense against temptation. A defense is Matthew 4, and it says, but he answered and said, it is written, man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. That's a defense. In 7, Jesus said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. So you got a defense. You ain't got to think, well, how can I defeat? Verse 4 and verse 7 tell you. Then you can't deal with that, go to James. And it tells you in 1 James, I am greater in you than he in the world. What that means, what is that saying? There's a lot in the world that's going on. A lot of confusion going on. We got mass killing going on. We got a lot of stuff that we had never heard of before. And I said, that's not true. Go back in the Bible. These people over there have been fighting since the beginning of time. We can sign all kinds of treaties, but God said this must pass. So don't get tempted and take your life because we're going through some difficult days. This going to pass. If you believe. You got to really, really believe. I really don't care. I look at life, and I know how the devil is. And ever since I've been 40 years old, it had been a long time ago, I've had some kind of ailment, some kind of condition. But I haven't given up. Oh, the devil had me counted out. The devil with me this week so bad that I began to have a problem. And I began to think about what I'm going to do if this condition spreads. I prayed. And God said to me, the condition that you had it when you were born. Then I went back in my mind. I said, Levi, you had eczema when you was born. Every now and then it flares up. So I had to deal with it. So quit scratching and rubbing till your hand bleeds. Turn it over. Turn it over. God told me what to do. I haven't dug in my hand anymore. Oh, the devil showed me this morning with a little bit on my chest. And when I just looked at it and said, soap and water take care of it. See, I'm not going to allow him to have me scratch and dig up in my skin. I was born with this. And God had brought me this far. No, I looked at a family member of mine who were born with a condition. So bad that there were folks that I knew that didn't want to be around them. Didn't want to touch him. But he came from a praying house. He was blessed as a baby. Hands were laid on him. He said, what? Greater in him that's in the world. And if you see him now, you'll say, what a good looking, handsome man he is. You would never know that he had a problem. Not because of medication, because the God in you is greater than the devil in the world. But you got to believe. You just can't say, well, I think he will. Because I had no idea that this man will come over and embrace me and start confessing to me. And I could tell in his voice that he was hurt, that he did what he did. And I don't know. And I don't need to know. Sometimes there's things you don't need to know. Turn it over. Give it to God. And God worked it out. You know, and I just look at life. You know, my daughter called me and I told her about the death in the family. And she's close to him and she said, you know, Dad, when I was home, I said I had to reach out. I said, I know you did. He said, I didn't know. I said, I didn't know. Because they wasn't sick. Just came off a cruise. But God has the number, the day, the hour, and the second that he's going to call you home. So every time you wake up, you got a chance to get it right. You better start getting it right. You know, I look at the devil telling me a lot of things, and I said to myself, I'm not going to waste the years that I had. I don't know how many, maybe even a month or a day, but I'm not going to waste them. I'm going to live so people can see the Christ in me.